Hi, I'm the director for a New Zealand NGO called Common Knowledge Trust. You don't know me, and I don't know you. And I can tell you that I'm sitting here now, having spent 50 years of my life trying to say, within the childbirth conversation, we need to have a societal expectation that everyone becomes skilled when they get pregnant, that it's normal and natural to self-learn birth and birth coaching skills, practice them, and then use them as your baby's birth unfolds. I've spent 50 years of my life telling people that we need to have a skilled birthing population, to absolutely no avail. It's either been that you should be able to choose the birth you want, babies don't come to plan, choices change, or that they will basically do it for you. So I find myself now with this COVID-19 feeling the same type of frustration. In the description, it talks about masks. Everybody's screaming about why aren't they making more masks? And yet it's so simple to make one. Why aren't we told just make our own masks? They're simple. We don't need to rely on them to give us what we need or want. And this goes to self-help as well about this COVID virus. I live in New Zealand. We are in a total lockdown until the 23rd of April. The official messages here are the same as in other countries that are locked down. To prevent catching this virus, you are supposed to cough and sneeze like that. If you're sick, you're supposed to self-isolate. You're supposed to keep what they call social distancing, which is really physical distancing, and wash your hands constantly. Well, there's actually kind of proof, but really no proof. What works, what doesn't work, we don't really know. And they don't know either. However, the official message, if you feel unwell, is to go home, call your doctor, and don't go to the hospital, which means between trying to prevent it and if you get sick, there's a do nothing. And I just don't understand that. To me, it just evokes what I've spent 50 years of my life trying to say to people. We need skills. And in the description of this, there's a YouTube video about how to make your own masks. And there's a BBC article about why some people in countries wear masks and why people in other countries don't wear masks. They don't really know whether masks work or don't work. They know that a certain sophisticated one does. But let's just say we all make our own masks and wear them. That falls under the more important thing besides proof, and that's called every little bit helps. So in childbirth, every little bit helps if you become skilled. That's the most important thing. With this virus, if you don't feel well, then we're going to post in the Facebook, because it's too much content in the description of this video, the 10 simple things that you can do. Now, where do those 10 simple things come from? Some of them come from what doctors, nurses, and dentists have told us for years, which is to cut down on the load of bacteria and viruses in your nose and mouth, which is where this virus comes into our body and breeds, by gargling. They tell us if you have a stuffed nose, flush out your nose. They tell us clean wounds. Now, they didn't always tell us to clean wounds, because it was really in not the last century, the century before, they even knew that there were germs or that to keep wounds clean. But Maya Angelou always said, you do what you do, but when you know better, you do better. So now, instead of waiting for them to make masks, we make our own. Instead of waiting for them to come up with a vaccine to prevent this, we have to take simple steps to take care of ourselves. And why are we doing it? We want to flatten the curve. We want to reduce the viral load in our own body. This is so essential. So our NGO is going to put out a simple COVID quick skills course of some of the skills that Birthing Better Families developed in the early 70s. We have been absolutely committed to a skilled population. Same way, 20 years ago, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, the medical profession basically said, nothing you do makes a difference, just take medicine. And then they woke up. It had to do with what we were eating. It had to do with our lack of exercise. It had to do with too much stress in our lives. And so the general medical practice now says if you have a heart disease, diabetes, or obesity, change what you're doing. Learn skills to take care of yourself. Sadly, the medical profession is so overwhelmed by this that they have not thought to come out with these simple skills. The Chinese doctors added to that, drink only warm water, oral rehydration, slightly salt, slightly sweet, things that everybody has in their own home, and drink 3 liters of it warm every day. Don't drink cold things because your body then has to heat it up. If you feel unwell, washing your hands is great, but if we saw the virus as little blue dots, it would be on our clothes, in our hair, on the glasses, on this chair, anywhere. So just take a shower at the end of the day or wash yourself off at the end of the day. Simple, simple things that you need to do if you feel unwell, because we're all waiting to get tested. Do you know how long it takes for a test result to come back? It takes between 1 week and 2 weeks. 1 day and 2 weeks, which means if you are sick, if you have this virus, you could actually, if you have pre-existing conditions, elderly like myself, be dead or on a ventilator. How insane is this? Honestly, this is like Groundhog Day about birth. We need to be skilled to birth our babies, and we need to have simple skills if we feel unwell so that we do something for ourselves right now, because every little bit helps. Skills aren't a cure for risk factors in birth. These simple skills that you do if you feel you're sick are not going to cure or eliminate this virus. However, skills help you cope, manage, work through, deal with, handle, stay on top of, and feel in control. And if you do these simple skills, doctors, nurses, and dentists have been telling us for years they can reduce the viral or bacterial load. They are soothing, they're comforting, they're things that we can do. And do you know, if you do them, you may not get as sick or sicker or end up with a ventilator because you took time to implement skills that are easy to use and available to you in your home. All you need is warm water. All you need is a little salt, or you have it. So anyway, this is a rant from a 75-year-old director of a New Zealand NGO who has spent 50 years of my life drumming her head against a wall that actually believes we need proof before we learn skills to birth our baby. We should not wait for proof about this virus. We don't have access to the drugs like hydrochloroquine and stuff like that, but you may have zinc. And if you don't have zinc, that's okay. You still have warm salt water. So do those things and take care of yourself and pass them on, for goodness sake. We're trying to, and it's your responsibility to pass them on, just like to pass on how to make your own mask. So anyway, that's my rant for today. See you later.